Family, friends remember affable Fuzzy Zoeller. The man who was always a soundbite. Fuzzy Zoeller stood beneath the legendary oak tree at Augusta National. The same tree that watched generations of champions walk into golf immortality. It was 7:28 a.m., and the morning air carried the scent of pine needles and nostalgia. Zoeller had woken early for what would become his final honorary starter ceremony at the Masters, one last gathering of legends at the place that defined his career. In less than 3 hours, he planned to leave Augusta, fly home to Florida, and cast a rod into the Atlantic, a ritual that had become his peaceful escape. But for now, he simply held a warm cup of coffee and stared toward the first tee with a soft, familiar grin. Then came the announcement. "Jack, the tee is yours," Chairman Fred Ridley declared. Jack Nicklaus stepped forward, and, in classic Jack fashion, shot back with a playful quip. Moments later, Gary Player sent a perfect drive soaring, followed by Tom Watson, the same man Zoeller stunned in that unforgettable three-man playoff 46 years earlier. As the applause faded and the ceremony wrapped, Fuzzy slowly turned away from the oak tree and headed into the clubhouse. He paused, looked back one last time, and asked softly, "Does it get any better than that?" For Fuzzy Zoeller, it didn't. A final farewell in the summer of 2019. Zoeller underwent triple bypass surgery, including a valve replacement, a reminder that even golf's great storytellers aren't invincible. Earlier this week, on Thanksgiving morning, Frank Urban Fuzzy Zoeller's heart gave out for the final time. According to his son-in-law, Chase Wright, it was a combination of cardiac arrest and something far deeper. A broken heart following the 2021 passing of his beloved wife, Diane, after her long battle with Alzheimer's. Fuzzy never left her side. "Losing Diane crushed him," said his close friend Spider Miller. Memories etched in Augusta green. Spider still recalls the phone call in 1997, shortly after he qualified for the Masters by winning the U.S. Mid-Amateur. "I asked Fuzz who I should play a practice round with," Miller said. "He just laughed and said, 'Who do you want to play with?' So I told him, 'If not you, then Arnie.'" What happened next was the kind of Augusta magic only Fuzzy could deliver. Monday, Fuzzy and Spider walked 18 with Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus. Tuesday, they played again, this time with Tom Watson joining the group. Wednesday, the trio of Fuzzy, Spider, and Arnie teamed up for the par 3 contest, with one rule. Any hole-in-one meant you owed $1,000. No aces fell through the first 8 holes, and the banter grew louder with each swing. Then the group reached the 140-yard final hole over Ike's Pond. Fuzzy stepped up, winked, and said, "Get your money out, boys. I'm making this one." That was classic Zoeller. Always confident, always smiling, always ready with a punchline. Whether he actually jarred the shot hardly mattered. What mattered was the moment, the laughter, the memory. That was Fuzzy. The legend behind the laughter. Zoeller was the rare type of champion who made golf feel lighter, funnier, and warmer, even when the stakes were highest. He could charm a crowd, roast a friend, deliver a perfect quote, and then go out and hit the shot of the day. He was, as many said repeatedly, always a soundbite, always a smile. But behind the jokes was a man who loved deeply his family, his friends, the game, and above all, Diane. To those who knew him, his final months were quieter, softer, and filled with reflection. He had already played his tournaments. He had already told his stories. He had already said goodbye to the love of his life. Maybe that's why, under the oak tree, with a coffee in hand, he asked, "Does it get any better than that?"